Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. God bless all y'all beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Keeping Up with Riv, where we're going to talk about Draymond hucking somebody again. We're going to talk about Jokic ejection. We're going to talk about the in-season tournament. We're going to talk about Gilbert Arenas' comments and Ausar Thompson. We're talking about the Wizards owner saying he's trying to move to Virginia. Bro, man, you better worry about a win. We're going to get to that later. And a couple other good topics about just referees going absolutely insane. But Draymond, come on, bro. We're gonna start with this one. We're gonna start with this one right here. Draymond, why do you keep doing what you do, man? You're one of the best defenders in my lifetime. You, Gobert, AD, and my watching experience. When I've been like 12 up, you're one of the most you're one of the best defenders in the league. You were one of the driving forces to the reason why teams wanted to run small ball. Because you in your prime, when you were a little more athletic, there was no center in the league that can keep up with you guys. But now you're more the problem. Now you're a distraction. You're no longer, constantly helping your team with wins. The conversation is no longer about how great Steph Curry has been. It's about you. It's about your antics. It's about what you're doing. Like, what do you mean you're trying to fight for position? I've never seen a basketball game somebody trying to fight for position and end up, huh? Where did what you trying to fight for position in the UFC? What position you trying to fight for? What position you trying to get him in? Come on, bruh. Like that's terrible. That's such a distraction to what the Warriors have going on right now. Needless to say, this is his third ejection of the year. It's not the first nor the second of the year. We're still in 2023. We haven't even turned the calendar yet. And you already got 3 ejections. You already served the 5-game suspension. And because of your prior antics, you're going to say it's not fair. But, brother, man, how many strikes you about to get before you strike out? Before you realize that what you're doing is going to constantly get these kind of reactions, these kind of repercussions, because there's a history behind it. You're not a first-time offender, Draymond. Mr. You want front kick people in the nuts. You want to hook people. You want to choke people. And even though it has nothing to do with anything in terms of on the court, you want to knock out your teammate in practice. Listen, I'm fully expecting the league to put the hammer down again. And I feel bad. I feel bad because the Warriors starters, Clay had 7 points. Draymond had 2 before he got ejected. Kevon Looney finished with 0. Wiggins finished with 3. Wiggins and Clay were benched in the fourth quarter in crunch time because of how bad they were playing. The Warriors needed 80 points from their bench to stay in that game. But we hooking people. But we're getting into scuffles. And I understand Draymond said it was an apology. Draymond gave his apology. Draymond said it wasn't intentional. Listen, Nurk is funny. He said, at least I ain't get choked out. At least Brian put me in one of these. It's terrible, man. For the Warriors to hold themselves to this kind of standard, for the Warriors to think that they're a finals contending team and push themselves. Listen, this isn't we hope we make the play. No, you're the Warriors because of your legacy, because of the greatness you guys have been. When these 3 are together, we're expecting a championship contending team. We're expecting a team to go out there and compete. But this team right now, brother, man, no. It doesn't matter who y'all go against in the first round. Y'all getting bumped. I don't care how much history y'all want to talk about. I don't care when it comes time to work. No, they can't. When it comes time, when things matter, it mattered last night. And Clay couldn't give you the performance that you needed to win. Wiggins couldn't help you win. So what are we doing? What's the plan now? Where do we go from here? It looks bad. And honestly, you put yourself in the Warriors that put themselves in a chokehold because of the contracts they just signed these guys to, because of the legacy contracts. I'm sorry. They are not worth the money they're making right now. And I'm not saying they haven't earned it, they haven't deserved it. They are legends. But right now, in today's age, we're talking about the Warriors right now. The Warriors that still have a Stephen Curry going out every single night and being a top 5 player in the league. And this is the product you put around him. And we're losing games where our starters are, what is that? 7, that's 9, 12 points. 12 points from 4 guys combined. 12 points. I'm pretty sure Curry had 12 in the first quarter, in the first half. But your starters combined for 12? First off, kudos to the Warriors bench because you come in, your starters aren't playing like anything. Chris Paul had to direct that second unit and did a wonderful job doing so. Kuminga got some good points. I am not going to butcher his name, but the rookie on their team has had some good minutes. But it's like, I don't even like where do you even go from here? Honestly, like this team is disappointing. It hasn't been good, and you guys have off court issues as well, or on court distractions. I mean, bro, man, it's not looking good this season for the Warriors. Let's talk about something that has looked good. Let's talk about something that was a flashing success, and that's the in-season tournament. Did you know? And I'm going to pull it up right here. I want to make sure I quote this. The last time the NBA were able to hold a viewership in season like this was a Celtics Cavaliers game in 2018. Do you know what that game was? Kyrie's first game with the Celtics. So if it's not a return, if it's not a first time they match up, if it's and that was in the middle of the dynasty. That was come on, like and for these ratings to happen is absolutely beautiful. They held what was it, an average of 4.5 million viewers on ABC and ESPN2. 4.5. The NBA has not got viewership like that ever, almost ever in season. So for the Adam Silver to cook up this in-season tournament and to have this kind of viewership, to have this kind of interaction, to have this competition mid-season. LeBron talking about some who flu game was better. But because he was able to say that because of the competition that this in-season tournament was. The flu game don't matter in the middle of December if there's nothing going on. But the in-season tournament was going on, and it was beautiful, and it was wonderful, and it was great, and it was everything that nobody asked for. Adam Silver just wanted people to watch his game. Adam Silver just wants people to see this product. And we tuned in because that game was amazing. Because those final games was amazing. We had moments in this tournament that now the Pacers playing the Bucks today. You best believe Halliburton, who was on Dame time, it's gonna now we have things to look forward to. We have now there's a narrative around Anthony Davis that's more positive than it was before because we were able to see the NBA was able to see him under more viewership. More casual fans that aren't really tuning into the Lakers, which I mean, Lakers are already one of the top teams. But now we're opening up the light to Pacers fans, and now they're getting more national attention. And now I hopefully like the NBA can get them more shine and more. So this has been beautiful to the casual fan because the casual fan was the same fan watching that Celtics Cavs game. It wasn't the nerds, the people that love the game and going to watch it regardless because they were already part of the viewership that was down because they're the ones tuning in. The ones that aren't tuning in are the people that just want to see these high matchups, just want to see Lakers Clippers, just want to see Warriors Lakers, just want to see these Celtics Sixers matchups. I mean, even that they haven't. So to have this kind of viewership in the middle of December has been absolutely beautiful. But back to what I was going to talk about in the specifics of this finals, the Lakers. And the Lakers are starting to piece it together. I talked about how frustrating it was to watch the Lakers, and there's still some moments. D'Angelo Russell still has his moments, and he has not looked too good of late. Austin Reeves had a terrible foul baiting, three, which he did just pulled up, contorted his body and threw a line drive at the rim and didn't get the call, and it looks absolutely ugly. You have Anthony Davis, who is starting to piece it together this season. A Data Davis. You know, I said I hate when people call him that, but like sometimes I'm just like, I get it because he hasn't been doing what he's been supposed to be doing. But now we have Anthony Davis, who over the past 5 has put over 227 point per game performance, 227-point performances. My goodness, has put together a 37-point performance last night against the Mavericks. Put together a 41-piece in the in-season tournaments. He is starting to get it rolling, and now you have a rejuvenated topic over LeBron James. Is he still top 5 in the NBA? These are conversations that we would not have had if not for the in-season tournament. Why? Because this isn't in-season tournament has gotten people talking again, has gotten people intrigued again, has gotten people bought into this narrative. People, normally people say, nah, it's just a regular game in December. Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, Anthony Davis could do it now, but can he do it in the finals? LeBron is doing it now, but he's probably going to be burnt out. He got something to play for now. They have this break, not this break, but they have something where a checkpoint. Let me call it that, a checkpoint in the middle of the season where they're able to say, wow, like I can't wait to get to this moment. And now we have, like I said, the AR-15 flu game, which is probably going to be a meme for the next who knows how many weeks. It's probably going to get brought up now, that wouldn't have got brought up a random game in December, like I said, if not for the in-season tournament. Let me talk about Anthony Davis. Somebody who I have had, a lot of frustrations with watching, who have had a lot of, joy watching his game all last year, the year before, the year where the Lakers won a chip. But let me just remind you guys about who this Anthony Davis is. Let me just remind you guys about how great Anthony Davis is. This is the same Anthony Davis that after the Lakers won their championship was no worse than top 5 on anybody's rankings. Was, for the most part, averaged out to be the 3rd best player in the league that season after the finals run. This is the same Anthony Davis who last season, when LeBron was out for that extended period of time, was the favorite in defensive player of the year, was in MVP discussions, was putting together 40 and 15 and 5 block nights seemingly nightly before he got hurt. This is the Anthony Davis who has not missed games this year. Who, although it feels though he hasn't found that rhythm over this past 5, over this past, I would say, extended maybe 7, even though, we're still in the first 20-some games of the season, has, like I said, put together some monster performances, has understood that I am not shooting 6 threes a game, that I am not looking to shoot a jumper. And even though it's sad, I love Anthony Davis. One of my favorite things about Anthony Davis, and in that Nuggets series was so important, he made the 3 that mattered. He made, he was able to be effective from the 3-point arc. And I feel as though if he can regain that, and I know it's going to be hard because to regain it, you got to start shooting the game. And once you start shooting the game, people are going to tell him to stop shooting because he's missing so much while he's trying to get into a rhythm. You feel me? But I missed that aspect of Anthony Davis's game. But regardless, he's understanding. He's starting to realize now, if I'm not doing it from back there, I better get in the cup, because Anthony Davis is one of the most skillful players in the NBA at his size, with his athleticism. He is able to make bigger centers, which there aren't too many, starting ones in the league that are as big as him or bigger. I'm talking about this wise, that can stop him from the rim. That are capable enough defenders to be able to guard his culmination of the fadeaway, the hook, going straight up. Anthony Davis is a great player. Anthony Davis is someone who I look forward to. The Lakers are a team that I'm starting to look forward to. And if Anthony Davis can keep this track, can keep this arc of playing like this, the third option that I mentioned before about the Lakers, it's no longer a necessity. You can when you have your 2 players playing at like the way they are, you just need contributions. You don't need solidity. Is that a word? I don't think it is. You don't need a solidified third option if you know that you're getting in a playoff series maybe 30 and 30 from each players. And then when you have 30 and 30 from each players, and the defense that Anthony Davis is giving that doesn't show up on a box sheet sometimes, you can have your 15 from Reeves, 12 from D'Lo, 12 from Rui. That right there is already almost 100 points. Then you add in some smaller contributions from your Christian Woods, from your Cam Reddishes. Last year in the playoffs, I mean, the 3 I mentioned prior in the Rui, AR, and D'Lo, they're gonna alternate giving you high teens, early 20 points. AR might even have a game, because that's the kind of player he is, where he has a respect from LeBron and AD to take over. Anthony Davis has scored an efficient 40-point piece so far this season. Rui Hachimura is the only Laker on the team shooting over 40% from three. So you best believe that they trust him when it comes time to hit some threes. But let's flip it. Let's talk about the other team, in the Indiana Pacers. Which, I mean, I am so excited that they were given an opportunity. That not that they were given an opportunity, that they earned the opportunity to be in this in season tournament final. Because this is a team that I've been watching so far this season. This is a team that's been exciting. This is a team that, from the average fan, is not getting too much, press, and not getting too much attention. But it doesn't have any nationally televised games other than this one, and they took advantage of it. Eh, did they? No, they took advantage of the one prior. Let me say that they came out kind of flat, and I would attribute that more to the Lakers' game plan. The Lakers, and that's my danger. And I'm going to talk about that with the Pacers, but the Lakers' game plan around this team and pushing them off the 3-point line, forcing them to come to the paint, and funneling the offense into Anthony Davis. And the Pacers, they shot 10 for 41 from three. Like, they shot 10 for 41 from three. And what I'm scared of is in the playoffs, when a team is not just playing the Pacers on a regular night, but they're game planning around them, but they're preparing for a 7-game series, is that they're able to have, more nights where they're getting ran off the three. Where they're gonna get pushed to go into the paint, and you don't have too many paint people that are penetrating the paint. You have your Benedict Mathurin, you have your Miles Turner who is willing to bang down low when need be. But this is a team, you have your Obi Toppin who can rise up over anybody, but this is a team that prioritizes finesse, that prioritizes, passing, motion, shooting threes. So my biggest worry with this team is that if a team is able to game plan over pushing you off the three, what is your reaction? What is your next step? And I'm glad the Pacers were able to, maybe I wish that it was a better game from the Pacers in the in-season tournament final. But I'm glad that the Pacers were able to experience this now. I'm glad that the Pacers were able to say, wow, like, we got ran off the three and we really didn't have a react. We didn't really have an answer. So maybe now they're able, and throughout this course of the season, if a team is pushing us off the three, how do we react? If a team is able to successfully push us off the three, because no team has really been able to do that so far. But Tyrese Halliburton, I mean, this in-season tournament, we got people trying to call him a superstar now because of the exposure. That's what happens when you first get introduced to something. You're like, listen, when I first had Five Guys, I'm like, yo, this is the best burger ever. But then you get some time, able to try to listen. And Tyrese Halliburton is having that kind of effect right now. Is he a superstar? We have people saying, is this the greatest point guard season ever? Because of the exposure, because of with the in-season tournament. We've been able to have more conversation around Tyrese Halliburton. Sorry, dang, two-piece, about how good he has been. And now the league is giving more attention to this team that has been fun. That is the best offense we have ever seen. But this team, and it's been talked about on Twitter. It's been talked about on my favorite podcast. This has been talked about everywhere. If Pacers better go get OG Anunoby. Pacers better go and try to get them a wing defender, because if they can, this team looks really good. And forget the whole, man, they got to go through the ringer first. Man, they got to have a couple series under their belt. This team in the playoffs, if they're able to have that defender, and maybe in the course of a game they still give up a lot of points, but a defender, when it comes crunch time, they're irritants. They exhaust the star player. There's no one on the team that can do that right now. But if we have OG Anunoby tailing some of the better stars in the game, tailing them for 4 quarters and getting them tired, and now it's crunch time, and this team is rejuvenated, and this team is still running and gunning, that's what they need. They need that when they need to stop, they're able to get it, and you're able to get it down low. You're able to get it with Miles Turner, who's one of the best paint protectors. Sometimes you're able to get that help side defense from OG. I just mixed up Obi Toppin and OG Anunoby. From Obi Toppin, who is one of the best athletes in the NBA. But now we got to worry about the wing, because this is a 3-point game. We got to worry about guys who are able to switch on to pick and rolls. And a lot of times they try to attack Tyrese Halliburton. But if we're able to disguise him better, if we're able to have an OG and an Obi-esque player up there at the top of the wing being a point of attack defender, this team looks better. This team looks even more dangerous. You're even more scared about the offense, because OG and Anunoby can force even more turnovers for your team and get you on a break and get you running. And it's looking good. I mean, you already have a star, and your team already has a star. You already have someone who you're building around. You already have a team that, I mean, in 1 year, this team already plays around Tyrese Halliburton and his play style and the run and gun and getting down there. Like, you're not having the same season that you're getting from Buddy Hield, but you're having your Aaron Nesmith stepping up. Benedict Mathurin is still a very worthy, scorer off the bench. Your Obi Toppin is shooting more threes, is shooting better from the three. Miles Turner, who before Tyrese got there, they're gonna trade Miles Turner. We're hoping Miles Turner can get to the Warriors. We're hoping Miles Turner can get to a contender. We're hoping Miles Turner can get to the Pelicans. No, Miles Turner is here because of the play of Tyrese Halliburton. Miles Turner is a pacer because of the play of Tyrese Halliburton. So man, I mean, it looks fun. It looks exciting. But let's move on to the next. Actually, let's not move on to the next topic. Are the Pacers a worthy contender in the East? And I think I kind of alluded to it. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. This is a team, like I said before, a team that is up there with the Celtics, a team that is up there with the Sixers in terms of scoring. Like I said, they just need the stops, and they're gonna. I promise you, they're gonna trade for a defender this trade. They already said they're aggressive. They already said they want to go out and get better players. They already said they want to upgrade because this team is understanding that they're young, that the contracts that no one is getting paid too much money right now. So let's go out and get it before we need to pay, Benedict Mathurin, before Aaron Nesmith is going to get a good role player kind of contract, before, Nimhard is going to get a backup point guard deal, or some team's going to be convinced that he's a starting point guard. Let's put the chips in. Let's go out there and get somebody that can help this team be a perennial playoff and finals contender. And I believe it. And I think they're real. And I think they're here. And I think they're fun. It's so amazing that we had this Pacers revelation and it's Orlando Magic revelation in the same season. We have these two young teams and OKC Thunder. We have all these young teams that are saying, forget it's a gradual build. No, we're going straight to the top. And it's been such a fun process. But Gilbert Arenas came out and said these comments about Ausar Thompson. He said, if you're 20 turning 21 and you giving me 10 points per game, you're not in my future. Excuse me? Excuse me, bro? Are you serious? And all respect to Gilbert, because he does say some good things on his podcast, but this is probably one of the biggest misses I have ever seen from Gilbert Arenas, because Gilbert, you averaged 10 points per game your rookie season. And you know what you didn't do your rookie season? Attribute to rebounding the way Ausar Thompson did. Attribute to defense the way Ausar Thompson did. Ausar Thompson is one of the best wing defenders in the NBA right now. Right now. So yes, he's scoring 10 points per game, but the Pacers, the Pistons drafted him. They knowing their needs. The Pistons drafted him, knowing that they don't have 3-point shooting, knowing that they drafted him. So Ausar Thompson isn't supposed to get drafted to a team and automatically try to form into what the team needs most. No, you drafted this player, this wing that's athletic, this wing that runs all over the place, that grabs boards, that helps on defense, that is an athlete. They understood that he has yet to develop a jump shot, and they still drafted him. And I think for good reason. It isn't Ausar Thompson's fault that you can't build a competent 3-point team, a competent team that can shoot 3-pointers. I promise you, if this team was able to shoot better from three, if this team was able to get more shots up, he would have so much more praise around his name right now. That Gilbert Arenas wouldn't even have said this if they were on a 20-game skid. And yes, he's lost his minutes for the ability that he can't hit a jump shot. That he is probably one of the worst shooters in the NBA, but he's a rookie. I want to bring forth some rookies. Listen, if you're watching this right now, who's the best player in the NBA? Yeah, I know. Y'all all at the same time said Jokic. Yes, it's Jokic. Jokic is one of the best players in the NBA right now. And he averaged exactly 10 points per game his rookie year. And after that, he didn't jump to like 20s. It was a 16 and 18. There's conversation that say, man, Jokic is a great player, but he can't really score more than 20 points per game. Can we have a superstar in the league that isn't top of the league in scoring? He up there now. But Jokic didn't have a hot start to his rookie season. Kobe's first season was 7.6 points per game, and I think he started 2 games that year. The next year, it wasn't like he was already up to 25, high 20s, 30s. He was at like 15. Was he out your future? Was Jokic out your future? Kawhi, first couple years in the league, he averaged 7.9 points per game, 11.9. After that, I think he was 12 and then 15, and then he took off into the player that we know him to be. So for Gilbert Arenas to say that is absolutely crazy. Kyle Lowry had 6 straight seasons under 10 points per game. 6 straight seasons. You know what else he did 6 times in a row after that? All-Star appearances. 6 All-Star appearances in a row with Toronto. But nah, he's out your future. I'm disregarding him. And yes, you can say Kyle Lowry did that with the second team. Kobe didn't. Yes, you can say Kyle Lowry, had to leave teams. Kawhi didn't. Yes, you can say Kyle Lowry had to leave teams. Kobe didn't. Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam didn't. Do you know where they were at 21 years old? They were winning a G League championship. Pascal Siakam, Finals MVP of the G League. Are they out of your future? Did they have to leave and go somewhere else to get this opportunity? I feel that was just like such an ignorant comment. And I just gave you examples. Fred VanVleet and Pascal were both 21 years old in the G League. Both of them are making 40 M's this year. This season, both of them are making $40 million to play basketball. But at 21 years old, they were in the G League. I mean, and I said I want to go to a broader topic. We need to be more patient with these young players. Like for us to expect that these guys just come in and automatically, become something is crazy. Especially for the fact that once it gets to the lottery, people are disinterested in the draft because most of the people after that don't even pan out. Most of the people after the 10th overall pick don't even pan out. So that means the NBA is such a talented league. The NBA is such a good league that these players are top players in the nation, and maybe only 3 or 5 of them have an instant impact in the NBA. Out of over 60 people that just got drafted, only 3 to 5 had an instant impact. Only 2 or 3 of them are stars down the line. Some drafts don't even have a star. So for us to expect that these guys come into the league and just immediately blossom into something is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. You got to give some of these guys a couple years to develop into the player that we need them, that their team needs them to be. It isn't just immediate. And to think that, I think that's what happens with the world today. We want everything now. This TikTok. We want everything in the next couple of seconds. We want everything in the first year. We want everything immediately. It doesn't happen that way. Ausar Thompson is going to be a great player in the NBA. You know why? Because he has a high drive. You know why? Because he works hard. And something about a player that works hard, when he has something that he isn't good at, he's going to bust his ass trying to get there. He's going to bust his tail trying to make sure that he becomes a better shooter. But the league is talented. So for y'all to hold that over the heads of the young players is ridiculous. But now let's get to the last topic, man. Let's get to the last couple topics. The Jokic ejection? Come on, man. Like that was terrible. That's ugly, ugly work. Jokic, who, first off, you got to be able to read the room. It is Serbia night in Chicago. And not only the best Serbian player to ever play in the NBA, the best player in the league is playing in Chicago. Only gets to play there one time a year. And I'm not saying Jokic gets to talk to the ref like that. Yeah, give him tee him up. But to go, tee out of here is crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. In the first half, you're tossing someone out the game. Because yes, he said something he shouldn't have said. But some guys don't even get teed up for that. Draymond at this point doesn't even get teed up for that. Because now, we're expecting him to hit people. But then in the same night, we have, what was it, Tim Hardaway Jr. rising up for the dunk. Anthony Davis was under him, so he hung for a second and he dropped and then getting teed up. Didn't even celebrate, didn't even raise the roof, nothing. Just hung, looked down, and then dropped. And he's getting a tech for that. We had the Jason Tatum bounce pass that he got a tech for. Or I think, Trae Young even got a tech for this. What are y'all doing, man? It's getting to a point where, they call the NFL the no fun league. The NBA, like even though it's the most, to me, the most exciting league in the exciting professional sport to watch. Actually, football is pretty exciting because it's once a week. It's more of an event than a game. That's. But the NBA is my favorite sport to watch. Right, as well as the people watching this, I expect it to be your favorite sport to watch as well. And the stars can't celebrate. The stars, can't express themselves freely. One of the best changes in the NFL that I would say they have done is allow players to celebrate, because we have been given some absolute gem moments from this. We have been given some absolute beautiful moments from this. We have the DK doing the sign language. We had players sitting down, rocking the boat. We had the whole OBJ, like allowing your stars to celebrate. Isn't that what you want? Don't you want your players to be able to promote your game and let everyone watching know that, yeah, this is a fun league? Yeah, I want you guys to watch. I'm out here dunking, celebrating, doing. That is the point. You just scored a basket. Be happy about it. But they want Obi Toppin going, huh? And like under the leg, East Bay dunking and just what? Come on. You gotta let these guys play. You gotta let these guys have fun, celebrate. Because me as a viewer, that's what I want to see. You think I see LeBron come down the rim, tomahawk somebody after a timeout? You best believe I want to see it. Huh? I want to see all that. I want to see all the celebrations. I want to see everybody having fun. And no, I'm not talking about just a simple layup and then and you got somebody every basket. No, but when something exciting happens, as a referee, you got to be able to understand. He got to have his moment. You got to let him celebrate that. You got to let him enjoy that, because he just turned the whole crowd up. And you want him to acknowledge the crowd. You want him to get the crowd interested, to get the viewers interested. But nah, they want people going into timeout commercials. Just come on, bro. That's terrible. Is that really what you want? Is that really what? No, it's not. You want these players to have fun. You don't want your star getting ejected. He's already got ejected twice over the past week and a half. Jokic, you're on my fantasy team, bro. Relax. Relax. Stop getting ejected. Don't. We can't have that. Not acceptable. Not on my team. But let's talk about these last two topics real quick. The Washington Wizards owners trying to move the Wizards and the Capitol, which is the NHL team, to Virginia. My response to that: your team suck, and the thing you're worried about the most is relocation. Relocation is what you're worried about. When you can't draft, Victor, you would have drafted Victor Wembanyama and people would have been calling in the bus. It seems that everybody you pick is absolutely terrible. It is not what you pinned them out to be. Let me take a couple steps back. That boy Bilal Coulibaly is going to be a star. That boy Bilal Coulibaly is going to be a bucket. He has the it. He has. Listen, I was watching the game, and even though he's not a worthy shooter, he gonna hit one. But I watched the game, seen him come down the rim, and he looking at everybody. That's what you want. He has it. Even though the Wizards down 20, he's still busting his butt on both ends. That's what you want. Yeah, Bilal Coulibaly's cool, but you got the Corey Kispert, you got the Denny Avija, you got Jordan Davis. I forget his name every single episode. Doesn't that tell you something? Doesn't that tell you something? That your first round pick from last year, a lot of people don't even know his name. I know I'm not the only one that can't remember his name. So your drafting sucks. Your team sucks. The Wizards suck. Yo, let's go to Virginia. You think that's going to fix it? Y'all going to be in Virginia sucking. Y'all going to be in Virginia not filling up the stands. And then y'all going to want to come back to D.C. because then you're going to realize that D.C. is a bigger market. D.C. is more populated area. And they're going to say, nah, bro, stay over there. But, like, what? Like, are you dumb? But last topic of the day, Dante Exum, as we wrap up, has his basketball story arc has been absolutely wonderful. Dante Exum was somebody who I think one of my first 2Ks that I've ever played. He was a lottery pick in 2014, I believe. He was a lottery pick. Top 5. I believe he was number 5, but injuries derailed him as well as his subpar play. So he roamed around the league for a little bit. He went overseas, came back, an absolute shooter. Over these past 3 games, I just want to give him some love. And listen, bro. Stephen A. Smith don't even know what team you on. That's a little joke. That's funny. Yeah, I'm like, how you don't know where Dante Exum, man? Like, his story arc talking about him getting back to the league, his whole, killing it overseas, like that was a story. But over his past 2 games, he dropped 26, 16, and 23. He's trying to carve himself out a role in this Dallas Maverick team, which I think if he can do so, if he can keep taking advantage of the opportunities with the Josh Greens out, and I think you have a couple more injuries around the team. Like this team, Kyrie's out. If you can play alongside Luka Doncic and continue to hit the 3 at the clip that you hit it at, and continue to be one thing that was always about Dante is that he's lanky. He's a good defender. If you can play defense, if you can shoot the 3, he's a worthy ball handler. If you can get some buckets on the ISO, take advantage of this opportunity, you're going to stay around. You're going to find yourself, back in the league, and that is so beautiful to have a player that was drafted high, was roaming around the league, couldn't really stick anywhere, was the last man on the bench, had to go overseas to Spain, to Serbia, and then he played so good in Serbia that they called him back, and then he has taken advantage of the opportunity. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful basketball, and that's what I love about it. But wrapping up with that, it's been your boy B-Riv. As always, God bless. See ya.